Hey, what's up, you guys? Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, hello, I'm Melissa. We're talking about Hot D, House of the Dragon, Season 2, Episode 8 finale, the big finale. I have it somewhere there on the thumbnail. And we did this for 8 long weeks. I want to say thank you guys so much for joining me on this panel. Sailor Tortilla, I just saw your subhead. It says Team Simon. Thank you, Age, aka Tortilla, and Andres for coming with me every week to discuss the episode. You guys were dedicated and passionate, and I love to see it. I love it.
Happy to be here.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Hey, Chris Dang, thank you. I'm so excited that you get to be here with us live. I know usually you catch the aftermath. See, I was not spoiled. I stayed away from Threads and TikTok for like 5 days. It was, you guys, it was a task. Okay, so I always like to start by asking you guys, what did you rate the episode?
I'll jump right in. 5 out of 5. That was so fun. It was like 3 episodes in one.
Okay, Andres.
Interesting. I'm gonna go with a 1 out of 5. I had expectations. I had
As a book reader?
expectations.
As a book reader or show watcher?
As a book reader and show watcher. I mean, there are certain things that I'm just like not a fan of that the show does that maybe you guys like more. But we'll get into that later.
Yes. Okay, so for a lot of this, because I liked a lot of like the talkie, the way Age likes to say it. I liked a lot of the talkie scenes. And then because it was building up as it was going on more, like it was starting out as a 4, but then like it went down to like a 3.5 for me. And Chris, dang, let me know what you rate the episode. It wasn't a big finale for this season. Would like to see how season 3 will be. Okay, so Andres, would you like to say why you rated it so low? This is, I think, your lowest rated episode of the season.
Yeah, because it was my highest like expectations episode. I think last week on the show, on the post show, I did say like I was expecting maybe up to 2 really big events or at least one, and neither of them happened. So it really like it defied expectations in a bad way. I can't obviously get into spoilers from the book. But there were some exciting things. This could have been a really big, exciting finale. I guess the first half of next season will be big and exciting. I don't even know what to think anymore. And then I've been saying it all season, and maybe even a little bit last season. But the Rhaenyra and Alicent scheming behind closed doors thing does not work for me. I think it works for Age maybe, but I'm not a fan of that dynamic at all. I think it's corny, and yeah.
Actually, that was my low point for the episode too. It was like, oh, this again? No, but the rest of it.
Another castle sneak-in? Really?
Yeah.
And it wasn't even that hard. She was like, hey, Maester, can I
just
catch
walked
a
right in.
bus?
She didn't even do
security sucks.
The sister act thing.
Yeah. The low point for me was we keep getting reminded of the other show. Hello, Vision. Game of Thrones scenes.
I thought I saw a spoiler because someone showed a White Walker, and I was like, ew, White Walkers in House of the Dragon. No.
Oh, yeah. You said you thought it was fake.
I thought it was fake. I didn't want to tell you what I saw. I didn't want to ruin anything, but I saw a White Walker, and I was like, ew, what is that? Not in this show.
Yeah.
Can we talk about the Vision?
But I did think it was cool we got to see Blood Raven, who I don't know anything about, but I do know it's Ryan Condal, who's the showrunner. It's his favorite Targaryen. We got to see a little bit of him.
That wasn't the Three-Eyed Raven?
No, he's Blood Raven. I think we do see the Three-Eyed Raven because he's the raven, like the actual bird. But then we see a dude who has a raven-shaped birthmark on his face, and that's Blood Raven. He's a Targaryen. Oh. I think he's a bastard. That's all I know. Age, you're like the opposite of Andres with your rating. Discuss why you rated it so high.
I feel like it was filled with content. I love the adventures of Thailand and his lady wife and perhaps death by Schnoo Schnoo. That was very fun. It reminded me of
What?
Death by Schnoo Schnoo from Futurama. You must have sex with my wives.
Okay.
I thought that was great. I wish that they had spent more time on that than Harrenhal this season. It would have been far more entertaining. I like seeing the dudes that look like Dario Naharis's book description with the blue hair. I thought that was so fun. It felt like Game of Thrones again, but in a good way. Also, this is the only episode that actually gave me chills. It was during we don't like it when it reminds us of Game of Thrones. However, in the vision when they showed Daenerys from the back and the little dragons, I felt chills. I was like, "Oh, the show makes Daenerys seem so much cooler than she did during Game of Thrones." Like, no, like now I know that she's the only one that was impervious to fire and all of that. Like, I'm drinking the Kool-Aid. This was really fun. I liked it a lot. Also, oh my God, when Adam spoke to his father about like being raised without a father, that was so
Alan.
emotional. That touched
Alan.
me. That was great.
Yeah. For a second, I was like, "Holy shit! They're gonna get Amelia Clark to actually show up in this, aren't they? She's gonna show. She's gonna show." And I was like, "Okay, thank God she didn't show," because that would have been too much, you know. Like, let's not go all the way there. Okay, so and then I rated it a. Texas Taurus, I think, is with Andres and did not
Yeah.
like this episode.
Last 4 episodes are lame. Yeah, I generally agree. I mean, kept giving the last few episodes like the benefit of the doubt because I knew that there was a lot of good things coming, and
Yeah.
then didn't
but like,
quite happen.
is your issue like the things that you're expecting not coming soon enough? Because I feel like they will come, you know?
Yeah, I mean, they have to come. There's
Yeah.
also like I don't want to get into spoilers, but I feel like there some of the things that are happening now are kind of like kneecapping things that will happen later.
What does
If
that
that
mean?
makes sense.
It just
Like
sounds like
taking it
being a
out at
book
the
reader was
knees,
a
like
mistake. Reading the books is no
maybe,
fun.
maybe I'll never know what it's like to. But and then again, I gave season 1 like a B. Like I didn't think it was amazing, like high level Game of Thrones content, and that's why I wanted to read the book because I was like, there's a lot of potential here. And now, I still had a good time this season. I thought episode 4 was really amazing, lived up to the hype. But no, the season finale didn't work for me. And Melissa, like you were
Yeah.
asking what that means, kneecapping. It just means like I feel like they're taking some of like the mustard out of like what's gonna happen later by like little things that they're making happen now, if that makes sense.
Like kind of like breadcrumbing us still.
I don't want to get too far into it. I just feel
I don't
like
think we can talk
when
about it.
cooler
Okay.
stuff
Okay.
happens, it's gonna be a little less meaningful.
Oh.
Ooh, one more thing for this episode.
Go ahead.
Biggest laugh of the season for me. Damon kneels for Rhaenyra, and they have that scene. It's like super somber, like okay, all the guys like kneeling. It's supposed to be meaningful, and then you just cut to Simon just going, "Oh, great, like cool." Love that guy.
You love Simon Strong.
I want a T-shirt of him, like just his side eye, like looking like when your dog's like looking at you, like that's what he looks like.
You're a fangirl. I kind of thought we would get at least one battle in this because like it's building up to it. They keep talking about it. We see, a bunch of different deals happening over over at the Triarchy, over at Harrenhal, and then it just never happens. And then I keep getting annoyed at them showing like 0.5 seconds of Rhaena at the Vale burnt trying to find a dragon. I was like, bitch, just claim this dragon already. Like that
They could have just done one long scene for like a whole
so
segment.
annoying. Yeah,
Yeah, that's
I thought we were
true.
going to see her claim the dragon. Like we know what's going to happen. You've been breadcrumbing us. Make it happen.
That was a fun looking dragon. It had like different color on its wings.
I didn't really notice. I thought it was like looking weird at its neck. I don't know. Okay. Yeah, but that was annoying. And
it just
also,
kind of burped out that one sheep.
Does that mean that she completely abandoned the little lords, the little boys? They're off in Pentos and she stayed at the Vale?
She'll catch up on her dragon.
I guess, yeah. I mean,
or die.
or die. I mean, I feel like she has a responsibility to go and fight now if she has a dragon, but then she is
Mhm.
supposed to be babysitting. I don't know.
She's the wild card. They wouldn't expect her.
Oh, that's true. They
Mhm.
secretly have, I guess, 8 dragons instead of 7. Okay. So let's break it down kind of scene by scene, but we'll start with some colors here. Where do I want to start? I don't want to go over everything because some things were like kind of really short. Like I
Well,
already mentioned
if I
Rhaenyra.
may throw out a suggestion, we should start with
Yeah.
Team Green and that whole situation that Age was referring to earlier with the Thailand, because that was actually really fun. Yeah.
Thailand at the Triarchy. So I remember they were arguing about this in the episode before, saying like, okay, we need an armada. We can go to Pike or we can go to the Triarchy. And they didn't want to go to the Triarchy because those people are known as like pirates and they'll betray us. So I missed the part where they were like, fine, we'll go there. Did that happen on screen that I missed last episode, or are we supposed to infer? I guess they were just like, fuck it, we'll just go to the Triarchy.
I think the latter.
Okay. All right. Okay. What did you guys think of this scene? Were you surprised? Okay, wait. Help me understand. They're willing to help the Team Green, but they want the stepstones. And I'm guessing Thailand said, okay, but the Prince Regent will have my head for this. And I don't understand why that's a bad thing again. Why can't they have the stepstones? I know there was like war there last season.
Did they promise the stepstones to anybody?
I don't know who they belong to.
The stepstones were definitely really important, if I recall, last season. That's where like the whole battle with like, the crab people took place. So they were able to like choke out Westeros in terms of, that's a big choke point for like trade and things like that, right? That was a big deal when the crab guy took over. They were like, this is screwing stuff up.
Yes.
We need the stepstones. So yeah, the stepstones are an important plot of land or sea. I don't know.
Oh, okay. So now Thailand is like giving up that piece that they won. Okay, so then he's like, oh man, that was a big risk though to go against Aemon, because we see what happens when Aemon gets pissed off.
The episode started with him burning that town, and I was squinting, going, "Is that Harrenhal? Are they going to Harrenhal yet?"
And the episode never bothers telling us what SharePoint is. It wasn't until I saw inside the episode that that town belongs to one of the council members of Team Blacks, and that's why.
Thank you for telling me, because I didn't watch that.
Yeah, no, you're welcome, because I was like, why did he burn that castle? Why is it important? Who cares? And it's like they never talk about it during the episode. It was very weird.
They should have talked about it during the episode, to your point.
Yeah. But now we know. And then Aemon. So Aemon is very terrified that there's a lot more dragons than he expected in Dragonstone. And I guess that's why he lashed out and burned SharePoint. Or Sharp Point. I forgot what it's exactly called. And then because of this, he asks Helena, poor little Helena, who just wants to play with her bugs, to go to battle. And even Alicent is like, oh, hell no. But I have a question, a little tangent here. Why the fuck does Helena have a dragon in the first place? There's no way she rides dragons. Even Rhaenyra says she doesn't ride. Why does she have a dragon?
Maybe the dragon chose her, just like Alan is. Oh, I never know which is Adam and Alan.
Alan is the bald one.
Then I already mixed him up early in this episode. Yeah. Anyway, maybe the dragon chose her.
And
I think it goes back to your point, Melissa, about we don't understand why dragons choose anybody.
And I want to get it so bad. But I thought it was a nice piece of information that they told us that Dreamfire has been around since the Conqueror, which is like that means that dragon has at least seen battle. And Helena has a pretty powerful dragon. She's such an innocent, sweet person. What's going to happen to Helena?
I love her.
She's great.
I love her, especially in this episode, where she's just like, I see things. Also, I know what you did. Not even with an attitude.
That she tells Aemon, I know what you did, and I know that you're going to die. And she says Aegon ends up sitting on wooden throne. What does that mean? What do you
I
think
thought
it
an
is?
outhouse.
But she says he will be king again, but he's on a wooden throne.
Yeah. What does that mean? Oh, he's on a wheelchair. I think that's what that means.
Aegon, man, I can't believe I feel bad for Aegon. This actor is great, but also like no one's saying anything. No one's saying anything at all. And Aegon's like, my penis.
Split like a sausage on the grill.
Like a sausage. That's right.
Does nobody else have theories about what the wooden throne is?
I can't theorize. We gotta get through this was a big episode.
I
Also, they play
know.
piano music.
I have lots of
Shit's getting real when you
questions.
hear a piano.
But I did love this conversation that he was having with what's his name, Laris. This was one of the talkie scenes that I found riveting because I didn't see that coming. That Laris would suggest for them to flee while
That did come out of nowhere.
the
He was like, "Hey, let's leave, dude."
fight
What?
each other. It's like people can come and go in KL so easily.
There was a lot of things on Team Green that came out of nowhere, like Otto.
He's in a cell somewhere.
That's
I
right.
know.
Yeah.
I think Aemond put him in prison.
No, but Aemon wanted him to come back, so that makes no sense.
Maybe he said no, and he put him in prison.
I don't know who would have him in prison. I don't think it's Aemon. I think Aemon was the only one who was like, bring him back here. We need him.
This is going to be the mystery of like the next 2 years for me. Like I was delighted to see him there. Just all of a sudden, like, oh, he's alive.
Aemon makes another terrible decision because at some point of this episode, he says to cut off the fishermen boats. And then somebody on his team is like, no, we can't do that because all the small folk have our fish. And he's like, well, this is war. He's turning his people against him. He is a fierce guy, but he's not political. He's not politically minded. He's not very strategic with his own people, time and time again.
No, he's just a cruel killer.
But he did know to cut down the rat catchers, which also got cut out of the opening sequence.
I didn't watch the opening sequence.
It had extra stuff in there.
What did it have?
A bunch of dragons.
Okay. And then what else? Okay, Gwen and Criston Cole, I thought also had an interesting conversation because I kind of had a feeling that Gwen knew. I don't know what that means.
Why did he have
For
that
Frodo?
outburst? For Frodo.
I had a feeling that Gwen
Nice.
knew the truth.
Lord of the Rings, baby. Now
Yeah.
there's this franchise.
My husband has been calling Ulf Bilbo like all season long.
Bilbo Baggins. As I was saying, I had a feeling that Gwen had a feeling that he knew what was going on between Criston and Alicent because ever since he left and she gave him that, it's called the favor, I think, on the show, like the handkerchief. So he sees Criston Cole staring at it lovingly, and then he finally knows the truth. You're banging the queen, my sister. I can send you to the wall. And then Criston Cole finally says, you could do that, but like, then you'll tarnish your whole family name. And I liked this conversation because I liked hearing him that he's truly traumatized by the dragons. Like the battle at Rook's Rest, is that a thing in the book as well? Where like he's just kind of like,
oh, with Criston Cole.
Yeah.
I don't recall if he's traumatized once he sees the dragons or not. But I did like that scene. Yeah, I thought it was
like that scene.
Nice little moment for the actor, whatever his name is.
He's traumatized, and he literally tells him, "Look, I'm ready to just get this over with. I'm ready to just go because we've turned this war to the dragons and we're just dust under their feet and I'm ready to die." So I thought it was a very interesting conversation. I like that. Okay, let's talk a little bit about the commander over at the Triarchy, Lohar, I think, because I was not quite certain who this person was. And when they said that they had wives, I mean, okay, look, I'm going to be honest. I wasn't sure if this person was a man or woman for some of this episode because
Girl,
first,
it's a
It was
girl.
kind of obvious. Yeah.
She's a boss.
I didn't think
she's
it was
cool
obvious
as
to me.
shit. I love that
She
lady.
was crazy.
She's crazy awesome. She's got wives. She's so free. She's so strong.
She was crazy.
She's so cool. She even makes jokes. No one on Team Black likes jokes.
No, they don't. I think that's all
About
I have
that mud
for
fight.
free. Huh?
How about that mud fight?
The mud fight. Yeah, that
Mud
happened.
fight.
Telling you.
Did you want to say something about the
Crazy
mud
lady. No. Just it happened. It was nuts. She got whomped in the face. That was pretty funny.
I love how
Um,
she was impressed by him because he was able to knock her down. I
You know who
suppose.
she reminds me of? And
Who?
I'm really not kidding. She reminds me of the Hound, which was my favorite Game of Thrones character. Like it's kind of same energy.
Hmm.
A little more jolly.
I suppose the Hound was another funny character. It was pretty
I
funny.
love the Hound.
I
she's
think
got
I
that.
wish
more of
he
like a
stayed dead.
Tormund
Huh?
vibe. She's got more of like a Tormund vibe.
Okay, I see that. I see that.
Yeah.
That was great. That was so fun. Like anytime we get to see like all these like random characters. Also, like I'm inclined to like them just because they're Team Crab. It's all about Team Crab. Where's my crab hat?
Well, since they are known to be, I guess, betrayers, we have to kind of still see what they're gonna do. What if they what if they change their minds in the middle
Crab.
of a war?
Crab.
Crab
Love it.
people. Crab people.
I think this is the first time she is all decked out for an episode. She really liked this episode, y'all.
It was very fun. This
Aegon
season,
Targaryen.
I like the way the season looks
Yeah.
better than last season. I think it's very beautiful. There were some really great just shots. Yeah, crab people.
Does anybody want to cover anything else on Team Green? I think we've covered
Wait, there's more. There
the-
must be more. There must be more than that.
I wrote everything down that's important. I don't see
I
anything else.
mean, we haven't gotten that deep into like Alicent, but I don't know if you want to save the Alicent.
I was gonna save that for Black
Okay.
because he goes over to Dragonstone.
Okay, yeah, we'll save that for last since.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Cool.
Cool. Okay, Team Black. We see Jace still pissed off, and he kind of tells off Ulf and what's his name, Hugh. Look, I need an award for remembering all these names, bro. There's so many characters. And he's still acting kind of like, I guess he's projecting his own insecurities. But this is another conversation that I loved was when Bela sees that he's all pouty and pissed off, and she kind of tells him, yo, get over it. Just help your mom out. But I love when she says, you're not the first royal to not have your dad be your actual dad. Like, it's not a thing that's uncommon. And I really love that line from her. I don't know.
I love her in general. I think that she's one of the more level-headed characters. Anytime she shows up, she's just like so normal. She's like the normal family member. Everybody else is crazy.
She's normal, she's strong, and she's ready to figure out the solutions. And she's like, I'm ready. Just put me in, coach.
She also wears the same outfit as Daenerys in late Game of Thrones.
Oh, with
she's the only one.
The little, I forgot what it's called.
Mhm.
That thing. What else? Oh, okay. The guy that I kept mentioning that Rhaenyra sent over to Harrenhal that we have not seen him for like 2-3 episodes. He finally shows up. His name is Sir Alfred, and he is talking about some treason. He's talking treason.
They got to get rid of that guy. That guy sucks.
I know.
I was so excited. I was like, he's finally there. Hey, let's do a treason. No.
Yeah,
Bad.
which kind of surprised me in a way. But I did notice once they all bow to Rhaenyra, he quietly like slips out in the back of the crowd and like we don't see him again. So like season 3, what's gonna happen?
I mean, because Daemon's gonna kill him. Like, hello, Daemon knows he's a traitor. He's not safe there.
Yeah. At Harrenhal, Rhaenyra gets a secret message from at Dragonstone, Rhaenyra gets a secret message from your boy, Simon Strong. Because he notices this conversation between Sir Alfred and Daemon, and he gets very worried. He sends her a raven. So she flies on Dragonback right away, and she gets to Harrenhal. And then she immediately asks Daemon, you have done well here. You have gotten an army, but, who's this army for? And then there's some, like, hesitation. There's some High Valyrian. And then he eventually says, this is for you. And then he bows, and then they end up all bowing. And I have to say, I found him very untrustworthy just because he seemed pleased at Sir Alfred's reaction to talking about treason. But then when I saw inside the episode, we're supposed to take him at face value that like he's going to go for her as queen because of the whole experience he had at Harrenhal and the vision that he had about like the Ice Walkers and stuff. How'd you guys react to that, him bowing?
Yeah, that's what I came away with too. After his vision and
Hmm.
like the whole part where it's like you're just playing a small role in like the great story, which is it's kind of weird that Helena was the one that told him that. But regardless, I was like, okay, now we're supposed to know that he has taken that message in. So it made sense to me when he kind of like bent the knee.
Yeah, same. I feel like a lot of his actions in like season one were like, I guess he truly does love Rhaenyra sometimes, mostly. And like this season was just like, you don't want to be king, man. You don't want to do it. Like, even without the tree. I mean, if the tree wasn't there, would I take him at face value and believe him? Because like I felt something when he kneeled. I was like, oh, thank God, he does love his wife. Oh, thank goodness.
I don't know. Just because like even before Sir Alfred showed up there, he had told someone, I think Simon Strong or Alice, that like people will never follow Rhaenyra. Like people need a king. Like he knows how people think in the world of Westeros. And then
Both things can be true.
when
Like
his
he could,
theory
yeah.
when his theory is proven true, because Alfred is like, we need a king and not a queen. I was like, oh crap! Now he's gonna feel like very confident in his choices about not really serving her. So that's why I was like, I don't trust you bowing really, but.
I don't think that
Yeah.
guy would have influenced Damon at all. That guy is a butt monkey. He sucks.
Same.
And I think
Yeah.
he only smiled because he was like, lol, this guy's a traitor. This guy sucks.
Yeah, I think Damon was a really tough character to read in season one, and then they used this little device of the visions to be like, this is what Damon thinks every episode. It was a little cheap in that sense, but
On the nose.
yeah, I think like it made it really easy to tell where he was going next. So and after his vision, I did kind of expect him to do something like that.
Okay. I know we talked about it a little bit already, but do you have any more thoughts about how the vision played out? Any things that you guys saw that you thought were cool, or was it mostly corny to you seeing the scenes from Game of Thrones, or like
I need to play it in slow-mo because I'm sure I missed a lot. I seeing like that shot of Daenerys was like, oh, that was really nice. Like, I guess she's the only dragon riding with 3 dragons. Like, I'm starting to see the value in Daenerys through House of the Dragon. What else was in there? It was the
I've
guy
been
in the
saying
tree.
it. I was like, she's the only one who has
Mhm.
3.
I mean, it was a cool shot. It kind of like cements that fact that like I guess we all missed it, right? Because like dragons were not a thing in Game of Thrones until like season 2. Um, uh, what else was in there? There was a raven. There was a guy walking through mud.
I don't know. I was thrown off by the fact that it was Helena.
Oh, it made sense though. She's
What
so
did she say
magical.
to him
She
exactly?
is, but like, I don't
What
know.
did she
I
say?
didn't expect her. She was the one I think that said like, this is a big story and you just have one part in it.
I wish they gave her more to do. I think she's great. She's so spooky. She's
Yeah.
so bright.
I mean, I did like. I think he also sees his death, doesn't he? Like when he goes
I'm
into
not
that
sure.
puddle and he's like
I don't
drowning.
know if that was him. I don't really know what that was. I'm gonna have to look at still frames.
Mm. What I find interesting, Rhaenyra knows she has more dragons, but she's still kind of hesitant and doesn't want to. It seems like she doesn't want to go for it, or maybe she's hesitating because she doesn't want to kill thousands, but at the same time, she knows she has to kill her brother. So it's like, why is she hesitating at this point? You know, you're in war.
Cause like maybe it's about the magnitude. Like perhaps like we've seen all these well, not all these battles. It's like one battle this season. And it would just get 1,000 times worse. Like one village is already burning just because she got a bunch of dragons and showed off. Like I think it weighs on her that she knows how many people are in the. It's very simple to me. It's just like, oh, it's bad, but it's gonna get a lot worse. And she reads a lot. She's a reader, so I'm sure she's seen the histories of like when war was ravaging the country. It was probably really, really, really bad.
Yeah.
Do I understand why she hesitates? Like, no. And then the whole thing about killing her brother. Well,
Mhm.
she even got permission for that this episode, which is crazy.
Yes, we're about to get into it. Okay, we have another castle sneak in. This time, Alicent herself is going to Dragonstone, and she's basically there. At first, I don't think I saw this coming of her like, listen, Aemon's gonna leave, and then I'm gonna let you come in, and then you can be the queen. You can have your throne. I didn't see that coming exactly. Because it's like, are you serious? You went through all of this just to like tell her, you know what, you were right. I was wrong. That's a like lots of, I mean, not lots, because we only lost Melees and Rainies, but then there was also soldiers, you know, I'm sure they have families who miss them. So, and then in another twisty, Rhaenyra tells her, okay, that's all good and fine, but you know, I'm gonna still have to kill Aegon. Like, that is the thing. You know that. He can't just bend the knee. I have to kill him. And then it takes Alicent some hesitation, and then she just simply nods. She nods.
It was a son for a son. She even said it, and it sounded so cold, but like it's true.
I just don't feel like I dislike this whole thing they're doing, but I don't think that Alicent, like, if there's one thing that should be consistent about her character, I think it should be that she's like a
The
caring
doer.
mom. Like, she cares about her kids. Like, that's why she's in this situation. Is like she wanted her kids to be like the true heirs. I think that would be like a North Star that makes sense for her character, but instead I'll give the writers credit. Like, as the season went on, they did a good job of like developing this idea that she just wants to be normal. Oh my God, I can't even go to the grocery store without anybody. I just want to be normal. I want to drive my own car. I don't want to
She
be
wants to
driven
go
around.
camping.
I want to float around. Why can't I just float around? So they did a good job of like setting it up, but I don't like the idea that she's willing to sacrifice a kid now to like undo all of this mess that she created. I don't know.
It's not even a full kid. He's like half a man now.
His sausage isn't even
He
unsplit.
pisses down his leg.
Maybe this is part
All of
of
that was
her.
ignored.
Maybe
No one
this is
asked to hear that.
Maybe this is part of a character evolution where she's
Yeah, it
willing.
clearly is.
Yeah.
It's just I don't know if that path is very like, I don't know if it grips me as much as it would if she was just all about her kid, like more of like a Cersei type.
Yes.
But we already got Cersei. Maybe the writers were trying to avoid that. Also, I do want to say something. I'm looking at Reddit. Apparently, no one liked this episode.
Oh, really?
Yeah, everybody's like, I'm so disappointed. It's leaving off on a cliffhanger. Like,
Oh,
yeah, dude, that's how shows
Threads.
work.
Threads is where I go. Let me go on Threads and read some things out loud that are funny, maybe. Okay, but look, I just had a thought and I forgot what I was gonna say.
I just asked you guys, by the way. I don't look at any
What was the question?
hashtags or Reddit posts.
Why not? It's fun sometimes to see.
I do check like the IMDb score of the episode,
Oh,
like
yeah,
a few
you
days
do.
later. Like, that's where I found out
You
that
do.
that one episode had like a 6, which it wasn't that great of an episode, to be honest. But
No, it was
I
not.
thought it was so jam packed.
Oh, that's what I was gonna say. Okay, so from what I have heard, that as the story of Fire and Blood goes on, Alicent doesn't really have much of a role to play anymore, and it's mostly like Rhaenyra, Aemon, and Aegon. So I'm guessing like this is their way of keeping Olivia on the show by giving her these kind of like extra threads to her story, perhaps. Especially since it's marketed that way. Like all those posters are Rhaenyra and Alicent, Rhaenyra and Alicent. You know?
yeah, going into it, she was one of the most like the biggest
No.
names they got.
Yeah.
So,
She
and
doesn't
I
use a
guess
wig.
maybe like it wasn't as much of a fit for her to be like a Cersei type. She does like have like a softer like touch about her as an actress. So that's why they're doing it. But for the story, it's just like a little less of a hook for me.
She does seem like she comes straight out of a different show. But I think that's because she doesn't wear a wig. That is all her hair.
She has extensions.
Really?
Yes.
They were making a big deal of this in
I
the
know.
behind the scenes. I feel
Her
lied to.
hair, like it's her roots and shit, but like that bitch
Huh.
have extensions.
Huh.
The conversation got like very girly for me. Like I don't even know what you guys are.
Andres has never heard of hair
I'm sure you've
extensions. He has
seen
no
girls in
idea.
hair. You know about
But
that.
I can't tell if somebody has extensions or not.
She definitely has
Like,
extensions.
and nor do I care, by the way. Like this is a very U2 thing that I just have to like sit out.
Oh gosh, he's gotta make it girly.
Girls
I don't really-
exist. That's the whole problem with this show. A girl can't be queen. Yes, she can. Girls can have wives. Girls can
Okay.
be
I thought you were saying the fact that girls exist is the problem with the
I
show.
see a comment. House of the Dragon season finale was meh. People are like, "Oh, really? You amp this up and then show us nothing?" I mean, I kind of had that complaint too. I wanted at least like one more battle before the
I mean,
season.
I guess we
out.
gotta wait for it. It'll be a whole season of battles. I'm sure it'll be nonstop battles for all of season 3.
That's what they said inside the episode, that like season 3 will be like total war. I was gonna say, fuck, I forgot what I was gonna say. I'm seeing gifts.
Well, on X, people are going crazy about Daenerys.
Oh yeah, I see one picture so far of Daenerys. Are people liking it on X?
I mean, they are talking about Daenerys mostly. Like that's all of the top posts are Daenerys, and then there is this one meme. I don't know if you guys could see it. It is the 3 bastards with like the 2 cool dragons, and then that guy's the goofy dragon. That's pretty
Why
funny.
is he so goofy? Him with
He's
his feet on
goofy.
the table.
The thing is, the moment this ended, I thought to myself, so you're telling me I have to wait 2 years? 2 years again to see the battle?
Guys, there's some cool stuff that could have happened in these last couple episodes.
Maybe they just want did they say this was going to be 3 or 4 seasons? Because perhaps they just want it to be like a one final banger season.
So that's another piece that annoys me, because it feels like now they're trying to stretch it out. But remember the first half of the season, I was saying like, oh, the pace is like awesome. Like the first episode was the rat catcher episode, and then like 2 or 3 episodes later is the battle with the dragons, and then all of a sudden nothing ever really happened again. Is that fair?
I'm happy you mentioned pacing. I think the issue with this season was pacing. Like, I don't think it was a bad season, but like certainly it had like a lot of like go 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 go. Okay, hold on, stop for 3 episodes, and then go 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 for like just this one episode.
That's what
the pacing
started
could have
to
been
like.
better.
That's what started to get me about this episode is I was like, some of the conversation, like the talkie scenes, started to feel like this is just kind of like
Set up,
like running out the clock on the episode, you know? Like this doesn't have to happen. Like I know some of the things that are going to take place, and they could be getting to them a lot quicker. They're just throwing in some talkie scenes like to be like, okay, crank out 8 episodes and then save this stuff for next season, I guess.
Maybe that's why they did 8 episodes, because they wanted to save the good stuff. I mean, I'm really not trying to defend them. I'm just trying to make sense of it.
Yeah, I don't know. I think maybe there's not enough material to do like 4 or 5, whatever they're aiming for. Is it 4 seasons?
I think they've talked about possibly 4.
Yeah, maybe there's just not enough material for 4 like 10 episode seasons. So they're like doing 8 episodes and then like really weird pacing, in my opinion.
Man, it ended on a high point for me though. Boop.
Like literally them about to go to battle, that was satisfying for you?
I mean, I watch anime. It's really common for a season to end. You know what? Anime is media. I consume a lot of media, and this is not unusual. I mean, like, so like to bring it into the realm of anime, like anime usually has arcs. Like one season might have 2 arcs. It might have 1 arc. The whole season could be like this enemy, and then the next one is a different enemy. So like it's very normal to like amp up an enemy that you've never seen that's going to come in the next season. So like in this case, they're like amping up these battles that are going to happen. So for me, this is very, very usual. And I mean, it's so normal for books to end on cliffhangers too.
Yeah, I mean, I don't mind the cliffhanger. I just felt like there was 4 episodes of action, and then 4 episodes of like setting
Filler.
up season 3.
Yeah.
Don't quite get it.
I think it was budget. Honestly, I think it was budget. I did go back and watch the last episode from last week. After seeing the behind the scenes that all those people that were on fire were actually people on fire. That costs a lot of money.
Crazy.
It's pretty cool.
Stuntmen and women have the craziest job.
Like all those times they're like, ah, they're really on fire going, ah.
That's awesome.
Violence.
I am
crave violence.
I am seeing, I think, mostly mixed to negative on Threads as well.
I think they're wrong. I think people will change their minds.
That's what you said about The Last Jedi.
And you know what? About The Last Jedi, I liked that movie the first time I watched it, and now people are coming around to it, so I was right about that one.
That's not true.
That's
everyone
true.
hates.
At least in my
The Last
algorithm.
Jedi. Everyone hates. I mean, Disney, Star Wars in general is just
no. See, the
a
Rise of
dumpster fire.
Skywalker hadn't come out yet.
Okay, so well, we won't get too off track. But point is, it was a bad movie.
You can't say it was worse than Rise of Skywalker.
Look, all of the Disney Star Wars stuff is bad. Rogue One is okay.
That's the one that people usually are like, that one's pretty. And then I know people like Andor. Cool. I haven't seen Andor.
I heard that, and now I want to watch it, Melissa.
People like Andor. I know that. They say it's the best Star Wars series of the bunch.
As long as D&D don't touch it. Like, was the reason that the other Game of Thrones show about the Doom, did that get canceled because D&D were involved? Because I still want to see a Game of Thrones show about the Doom.
I don't know if they were ever attached to that one. I feel like maybe they don't want to go back to the Game of Thrones Westeros world, maybe?
We don't want them.
That may have caused trauma.
They did 3 Body Problem. That was them, right?
Yes,
it was good. Oh, I liked it.
It was them.
There you go. You like them.
Yeah.
Now,
maybe they're just good at adapting things.
Is that book finished? Is that why it was pretty decent?
Yeah.
It is finished.
There you go. Okay. So before I ask you guys for your MVP and how you rate the season overall, anything else that you want to discuss from this episode?
I really enjoyed Larys trying to choose usernames for Aegon's internet account. What was it, like Aegon the Redeemer, Aegon the Magnificent, like Aegon the Cockless. Right. I mean, like so many options.
Yeah. Yeah, I was afraid of like, I don't want to know what his name is going to be styled because I feel like then my YouTube will show me like videos of I don't know. Sorry, I'm.
No, that I know what you mean. Yeah. Also, Corlys renaming his boat. That was nice. That was a nice.
I thought he was gonna call it like the Rainies or something, but it's like you named it the name that was kind of shitty because I always thought her nickname was shitty because it's like the queen that never was. Like you have to keep reminding her of that. Like why? That's an awful name.
Well, she's dead, so it's fine.
But when she was alive, they still called her that. That's the point.
I mean, but also I came to realize that he named his boat after himself.
Himself? Oh yeah, the sea snake. I didn't know that he named it Sea Snake.
Which came first?
Him or the sea snake? I don't know. I like to think that he got that nickname from his sailor boys, and then he was like, you know, that's a good name for a boat. Yeah.
If I was never the queen, I feel like I would like to be known as the queen that never was, rather than all the other women who have never even come close. You know, puts me like a peg above them. Just saying.
I don't like.
I thought it was a cool name too.
I think it's pretty cool.
I thought it was a terrible name. because they kept reminding the thing that she didn't get when it was rightfully hers. She was older.
Was it?
She was older than Viserys, and it only became a voting thing because she was a woman.
No, but
Mhm.
it was it a vote? I thought it was just Jaehaerys. King Jaehaerys just named his heir.
I
He
believe it
had
was-
to.
Yeah. He just named his heir, and looking
Why
at all
would
the
they?
crap that. First
Why
of
would
all,
they vote for
Jaehaerys is supposed to be one of the best, if not the best, king throughout like the whole Game of Thrones timeline. Best, wisest. Like
conciliator? I think they call
he
it.
was king from like his teen years through like very old age.
Years.
And he was wise. He had peace and prosperity. And you have to admit,
Except with his family.
knowing what happens in House of the Dragon, the Dance of Dragons, with the whole controversy over picking Rhaenyra as the heir, he made a wise choice by just making it simple, picking the highest born man.
Oh, I see what you
And
mean,
he
and I
had the
think you're right.
peace.
Unfortunately, I think you're right.
Yeah, the peace continued through Viserys because Jaehaerys made that decision.
There's another thing I want to talk about.
Okay, go.
Daemon bends the knee to Rhaenyra, but she does not kiss him.
Why would she kiss him?
Well, they're uncle and
They're married.
niece.
I didn't really think the moment needed a kiss.
She's dating his ex. I thought there's something interesting going on here.
I don't know.
I don't know.
Eh. All right, MVPs.
The CGI monkey.
Oh yeah, there was a monkey at the Triarchy. For a moment, I was like, "Wait, did I turn on the wrong show? I don't know. What is this?" It looked really different. It looked very different.
He was too shiny.
Is that really your answer, or
No, that's not really my answer.
what's your answer?
It's Helena. Helena, through whatever magic she's doing, is just being an absolute queen, telling her brother like what it is, showing up in Damon's fantasies, telling him what it is. Like, is she the true like queen maker, if you will? I like her. I really do. I want to see her get on a dragon? No. But do I like as a character, as a person, like, no, don't get on the dragon, you sweet precious lady. But like for watching like chaos, like I want to see her big ass dragon. Now that I know it's big, I want to see it even more. I love Helena.
I just want to say I'm reading that Viserys became king after being elected by a great council.
I want to say that
Like an
that's
electoral
incorrect.
college?
Yeah, I want to say Jaehaerys picked her at the Great Council.
I thought like everybody else
Yeah.
just kind of said, I. Like,
Who is the great
King says it.
council?
I think
All the
like
houses,
all the
no?
people that come and advise the king, but the king gets the final decision.
And one more thing. I liked hearing all of the leitmotifs of the families as like the Starks were crossing the bridge. You hear the Stark song, and
I
then you
did
hear
like
the Lannister song. Like, I love that stuff. That's actually one of my biggest pet peeves with Harry Potter. If Harry Potter had actually used leitmotif, it would have been way more emotionally effective. And I think Game of Thrones is doing that, and I like it.
We also got to see Daeron, but just not the actor.
Wait, we did?
See, exactly. Like we saw a body on a dragon. It was a blue dragon flying with the Hightower army.
I didn't pick
Oh,
up
I gotta
on
go
that.
back.
Yeah, you don't see a face, but you see the blue dragon, and then like you could tell it's like a body on the dragon. So we're gonna see Daeron finally season 3. I know fans must be waiting and excited because I keep hearing he's great, or like I guess I keep hearing he's important. Okay.
My MVP. First of all, shout out Helena. I do think that's a good pick, but I'm gonna go with Thailand and the Triarchy lady. I don't know, what was her name? Do you have her name, Melissa?
Lohar?
Yeah, I think it was Lohar.
Okay, Thailand and Lohar, co-MVPs of this episode. I think that was the most entertaining storyline of the day for me.
Oh. Who is? I mean, there were scenes that I mentioned that I liked that I was riveted by conversation. I didn't have to have it prove to me, okay, you don't need dragon fights. You could be engaged in conversation. And one of them was the Jace and Bela one. And I just liked how she told him about it's gonna be okay. You don't have to be pissed at this and whatever. I like the conversation. And I think maybe that's gonna help him shake out of his classism and think of like the bigger picture. So I wanted to pick Bela.
Wait, I want to say one more thing actually before we leave because
Who's
Asia's
Ty,
typing
man?
in the
Tyra.
I'm shit posting in the comments.
You did remind me that she first time she met Tyland, she accidentally called him Tywin Lannister. I thought
Who?
that was a nice little reminder.
Lorhan or whatever.
Yeah, that lady, I forgot her name already.
Snoo.
You just said
She
it.
says Tywin?
Yeah, she's like, Tywin? He's like, it's Tyland.
She always got his name wrong on purpose. It was great.
Yeah,
It's like stuff I wish I could achieve to do, but I don't
definitely,
want problems.
It was nice to be reminded of Tywin Lannister.
I don't think she says Tywin.
She did. It was
Yeah,
the
she
first
did.
name she said.
Yeah.
Okay, it's like a little Easter egg for us. Like they picked
Yeah.
that name.
I think so. It's supposed to be like, remember when we could write good characters?
Oh man. All right. So to end it all, how would you rate this season overall? How do you think it compares to season 1 as well?
I went with a B for season 1. I'm going to just stay consistent and say this was a B. The first half was strong. The second half really fell off, in my opinion. But I'm just going to be fair. I know people are going crazy on X and threads about the show. So it's a very popular show. It's very successful. I have my issues as a book reader, but B.
Oh, that is more generous than I thought you would go. Okay.
If I remember what we said 2 years ago, I think I tried to give season 1 a 5 out of 5 to convince people to watch it. And I think this one's a 4, even though personally, I think it is a more beautiful season. I love the use of music. I love seeing the characters or the families that we know. Like, the world felt bigger in this season than it did last season. And I'm not confident saying that, but I feel that right now. And I'll follow up if I feel differently. But I'm going to give it a lesser score because of Harrenhal. Harrenhal really, really was a miserable watch. I hated every moment of it. I'm glad it's going to be over. Harrenhal, man.
I thought we were going in A to F scale for
what we
the overall season grade.
Did we do that last year?
You can give it a number since we've been giving it dragons.
I'm going to give it a Sailor Moon magnet with a pin on the back and another Sailor Moon magnet with a pin on the back.
Whoa, 2.
2 Sailor Moons.
No, wait. You just said you gave it a 4 out of 5, right?
I thought scores don't matter.
She doesn't have 2 more Sailor Moon magnets. So
I've got like a sachet of lavender.
All right,
I just brought this because of Cole. Just Alicent, so good.
A 4 out of 5 is like a B.
Yeah, I'll give it a B. Melissa?
I think in season 1, I gave it. I want to retroactively change season 1. I think I gave it a 3 overall, and I would give that a 4, and I would give this a 3 because I liked the first couple of episodes, and then it really kind of like fell off the wagon for me in the last half, and I just feel disappointed, and I just keep remembering some of the writing. I feel like there were lots of hits and misses, and like the misses hurt me.
Yeah.
So the Alicent Rhaenyra thing, is that what it is?
The what?
Alicent and Rhaenyra.
Some of that. I feel like there's like a lot of like maybe it's like nitpicky, but like the castle sneak-ins were like just way too convenient, really easy. And then the Harrenhal thing was just like super long and drawn out, and it was on the nose. And I just felt like you could have done this in maybe just 2 episodes, maybe. Even though I do hear in the book he's there for like a year, so hopefully we do not go back to Harrenhal in season 3. And I have some other issues writing wise that I can't think of right now, but yeah.
They popped up. I want to dial it in and get even more specific and say B-.
Mhm.
I feel like C+ is too much of like a party pooper score. There's a lot of people who love the show.
Oh, how do you feel about the show?
I mean, in a vacuum, I'd give it a C+, but I'm gonna just say, I'm gonna let the people have their fun. I don't want to be that guy that craps on something people love.
Oh wow!
I'm just gonna say B-. B-.
The tune is changing. That you don't want to crap on something people like.
His score lit up like a sausage in the fire.
He usually doesn't mind crapping on stuff.
I mean, we're on live YouTube, so
on the internet forever.
You'll get hunted down.
In the chat, I get real.
Yeah, guys, we have a texting thread. We get real in the thread. What else did I have issues with this season that's making it go down? I can't think of my examples. I'm sorry. I should have written this down. Damn it.
I mean, I do agree with you that the writing suffered this season.
Mm-hmm.
But this season and last season were also very different in that like the other one had to span like 20 years of time with like all these characters changing. You had to like almost reintroduce people every time they appeared. It was a different challenge than they have here.
Mm-hmm.
I think the challenges were lesser in this season just because we're in more normal time. And I mean, man, this thing with even this episode when Rhaenyra had to speak to Alicent, I was like, shut up, girl, just shut up. I want to see if the other girl gets a dragon. Shut up.
Yeah.
I know when Rhaenyra made out with the worm lady, we all agreed that was just kind of for social media.
Yes.
Like random.
That's another one. Yes, super random. Did not like that at all. And just for the fact that like 5, 6, and 7 were kind of meh. I feel like 7 for me was only great because of the dragon seed scene. Like if that didn't happen, that would have been like a dud for me. It just kind of like was deflating. It was like a wheel that was deflating as it kept going. So that's how I feel about it. Steve has a very interesting question. Can you guys cover another show?
Do you have any suggestions, Steve?
I cover Sailor Moon.
Yes.
There aren't too many shows that like are weekly, like scheduled viewings.
I think I can name them on one hand. It's like The Boys, Silo.
Yeah, but even those, like they drop like on the day. There's not like 9 p.m. Everybody's going to be watching this.
Very true.
Yeah,
it's got to be HBO shows, I guess. What's an HBO show? Not Silo.
Dune. We did talk about Silo.
Oh, yeah, the new Dune show's coming out.
I would love to see that.
But Melissa,
I'm inviting myself back on your show.
I wish I were a Dune girly, then I would host the show.
You could be a rude Dooner.
I can't get into Dune, guys. But with Silo, that is a weekly show, but I don't know what time it drops on.
No
Apple
idea.
Plus. I don't know the time, but I would love to.
Chris Dang says Star Wars, which is true. It would be weekly.
Star Wars is not happening on this channel either. Sorry, Chris Dang.
Melissa, can I steal the people in the comments for my channel?
Your channel already has like a whole bunch of subs. There's no stealing.
Okay. You can.
And I don't understand why we can't do Silo because it's a weekly show.
I have no problem with Silo. But what Andres is saying is like it has this. Well, actually, it doesn't matter what time it comes out, right? Like we could still set up time for us to talk. Hey.
Yeah, maybe we could set up a more convenient time than Sunday at 10.
It is quite late.
This is pretty. I mean, it's a weekend day. I think it's the most convenient because we're all going to be home on Sundays.
Yeah, well, we are home. I have an early bedtime. I don't know about you guys.
Oh, was
This
it like
is this is the night I stay up late.
He did it for Game of Thrones.
you did
Yeah.
Game of Thrones? But to answer your question, most likely, highly likely, we'll be doing Silo season 2. Steve, let me know if you haven't watched the show, and if you haven't, it's on Apple TV. I think it's 8 episodes.
Oh my God, is Severance going to be weekly? Because that is the most incredible show. I already watched season 1 twice.
Severance is dope, but I don't think Melissa's
Severance
watched
is
it.
so good.
I fell off after 1 or 2 episodes, not because I didn't like it, but because I think I like moved on to something else. So that might possibly circle back to that. But I won't do Star Wars and I won't do Dune, but I might do Severance, and we're doing Silo. Bet.
You should stick with Severance. One thing I'll say about Severance is
Yes.
that has possibly the best like season 1 finale of maybe any show I've ever seen.
I'm still thinking about it.
Whoa. It's
been like a
praise.
year, right?
It was perfectly done. Like it gives you everything you want, plus it leaves you wanting more. It's weird. It's so well done.
Then I'm glad it's coming back. The fans must be very excited. Cool. Well, we did it. Any last minute thoughts of Hot D season 2? Because we probably won't be talking about it again until 2026.
I'll tell you who's got a hot D. Aegon. It's split like a sausage on the grill.
No one asked you, Aegon. Why are you telling us this?
Poor guy. Oh, I don't want to say poor guy because I don't want to like feel bad for him, but damn.
I feel bad for him. He's terrible and he got what he deserved, but also, dang, he really got what he deserved.
Yeah, he's gonna make sure he's never sexually assault someone again. There you go.
Apparently, that didn't even happen in the books. They just added that in the show. Why complicate these things?
They like to make things darker over there in HBO. Yeah. All right, guys, I'm going to hang backstage. Let me know if you watch this after the fact. Let me know what you rate this episode and then what you rate the season overall. And let me know what other shows I should be checking out that we can create more live shows. I think White Lotus is coming back.
Oh my God, White
there's
Lotus.
gonna be-
Great song.
Yeah,
Somehow that is a great song.
it is.
Chris Dang's like, see you all in 2 years. Well, stick around, Chris Dang. I have a out of the theater reaction coming up for it's that new torture porn movie. A movie that I typically wouldn't watch, but I'm gonna cover it because of
Long
content.
Legs?
No. It's a movie that's coming out. Oh, it's called It Ends With Us. That's coming out on my channel next week. So subscribe, stick around. Don't not see me in 2 years. I mean for 2 years already. Okay. What's the song? Let's end it with a song. We're not White Lotusing. We're not White Lotusing.
Oh, you mean ha 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 ha.